Mananiya Sadasyagan.
Namaskar.
We will start next with the electoral reforms.
Yes.
You've already, Rajdeep, what did you make of that debate? You had Rahul Gandhi speak, you had Amit Shah speak.
I think I'm very clear. The opposition there got it horribly wrong. They actually wanted to raise the issue of SIR. It started, then they wanted, a section wanted to raise the issue of vote chori. But government cleverly framed the debate, or the opposition agreed to electoral reforms debate. Once you agree to electoral reforms debate, then you open the window for, in a way, the way the opposition approached it was by sending mixed signals. They were not clear what they wanted to say on these issues. Once Amit Shah took the floor, and I believe, forget about a slightly unparliamentary word that he used in between, it almost made me feel, yeah, that's also okay to say a few words in parliament. Barring that, I thought it was a speech that hit the opposition where it hurt, because it then went into specific issues. And I think there, the government scored, and the opposition was completely confused. Just as the opposition was able to expose the government's agenda on Vande Matram, I believe the government was able to expose the opposition on its failure to come out with clarity on electoral reform. I had a debate yesterday on electoral reform with former chief election commissioners and some people who worked on it. And they raised key issues. Money power. How are you going to reduce the use of money power in election? Why not look at proportional representation? Real solid ideas. None of which I saw in that debate in parliament. In parliament debate, it was almost, when we don't win, there is something wrong with the system. When we win, all is okay. And
So you're not convinced by the vote chori that Rahul Gandhi kept speaking of?
No, I have not been convinced unless I get much stronger hard evidence to suggest that this is being done on scale. Obviously, there are irregularities at some level in our electoral rolls that need to be cleaned up. I do believe that the SIR exercise is taking place with undue haste. There should be an exercise, but you cannot have it at the cost of BLOs being so stressed out. These are legitimate issues, but the opposition failed to provide a cohesive argument and thereby gave Amit Shah the chance to grandstand and make a strong political statement. So from that point of view, I do believe we need a much more focused debate on how do we make our politics cleaner and ensure a level playing field. I didn't see that in the debate from the opposition. Their charge sheet didn't quite work for me on electoral reform.
But at least to begin with, the opposition was successful in forcing a debate on electoral reforms, if not specifically and pointedly on SIR. I think that's where they kind of were able to build a narrative.
But what's the point if you don't ask the right questions?
What's the point? Plus, you don't ask the right questions. There was no consistency between the opposition parties in terms of their arguments. There was no specific pointed demand like there was in the case of 2G, for example, wherein the opposition at that point in time in BJP, it forced the government and parliament to set up a joint parliamentary committee, so no outcome, plus the walkout defeats the purpose. If you walk out, then you give the narrative that you have nothing to say, and then give this to the government on the platter. Just like the way the government gave this, the Congress in fact was able to give the Vande Matram issue on the platter, ask questions of the government on Vande Matram. The opposite happened in the case
Flipped, essentially. Gaurav.
Okay, so I think Amit Shah didn't say anything new. He said everything in the run-up to Bihar
We
elections.
didn't need this debate.
No, of course we needed the debate. As far as we journalists are concerned, it's a great time for all of us, to listen to every side of that big story. But yes, when was the last electoral SIR process carried out in this country? Before 2025. So why is it that SIR was not needed and why is there undue haste? When was it done last time, Rajdeep?
20-year argument in
But the last time it was done over an extended period. My problem with SIR, just to clarify, my problem with SIR is not the exercise. It's the haste and the deadline.
And the timing.
And now the EC is caught in a bind because every week they seem to be extending the deadline.
They've extended it now.
Even today they've extended it.
Mismanage the exercise.
Okay, now let Gaurav finish.
But I love this interruption because this is what shows how
Democratic.
No, even if it's three against one, it's perfectly fine. I love it.
He has praised the government.
I love it.
You don't have to create a fight now.
I love this.
You don't have to create a fight.
Go ahead.
So SIR process in the past, as Amit Shah pointed out, 1951, 52, 57, 1960s, it is regularly happening. If it's happening after 20 years, now electoral rolls have to be reformed, right? That's exactly the purification of electoral rolls is happening. There was so much brouhaha about it. Why? It was uncalled for. So opposition just looks at something, hopes it will grab something and something will stick. Where is that coherent strategy for them to take it to its logical conclusion? And in the middle of the battle, when the commander abandons the battle and goes in the middle of the battle, what does it say about the future of that battle?
Well, okay.
No, go on, sir.
Okay. So, I thought very interestingly, the way it happened during Vande Matram debate, that the opposition got a chance to talk their points out. Similarly, in this debate, the government got a chance to raise this Ghuspetia issue again,
And it's a very serious issue, Ghuspetia. I mean, you can't have foreigners
who
will decide who your chief minister, prime minister.
Could you please tell us, could the election commission
Let
please
me
tell
complete.
us how many Ghuspetias have been found in SIR in Bihar so far? They don't even tell us. It's very easy to say Ghuspetia code. I want numbers. I would have rather had a debate actually which the election commissioner Gyanesh Kumar was involved in. He's the one who has to
He
answer
can't
the
get, but
question.
that's
the
exactly
government
the point
said
that
that
government
also, yeah.
constantly made.
Okay.
Gyanesh Kumar cannot
Okay.
come in parliament. He's not.
I agree.
That's why
I
he
agree.
said- Amit Shah said that also,
I
that
agree.
is not a parliament debate.
I
But
agree.
yeah, go
I
ahead.
agree to Gaurav Sawant's point, and of course the government is right, or the election commission is right, that the foreigners cannot vote in India. That's absolutely correct. But also we have to see that how many Ghuspetias the government has been able to catch in last 11 years till now. Even in the election process, even in the SIR, even in the normal drives the election commission does every year, twice a year actually. That has not happened yet. But anyway, the government got a political stand in this the whole debate, and the way Amit Shah answered point by point, the point by point rebuttal of the opposition charges. Every point has been answered back by Amit Shah in this. Very interestingly, the charges put forward by the opposition parties and the demand made by the opposition parties gave a chance to the government to show that they are sore losers. That statistics was really interesting. That Amit Shah said that in last 10 years, these many elections you won, these many elections we won. So the elections you won happened with the same election process, and the election we won also happened in the same election process. So when you win, you say all is fine. When you don't win, then you suddenly start.
No, but
making
what
these
went
noises.
wrong, Rajdeep,
That
to
is-
you? What went wrong in the opposition strategy? That look, they wanted this debate, and yet they were horribly underprepared for it.
Because
The Congress wanted
you
this
see,
debate.
there is a lack of clarity as to exactly what was the message you were trying to send out. A few years ago, you were saying there was something wrong with EVMs. Then you moved from EVMs to electoral rolls. Now you moved to SIR. You're constantly changing the goalposts.
No, but Rahul Gandhi's is clear. He said press conference after press conference.
No,
vote
but
chori,
Rahul,
vote
you
chori,
see,
vote chori.
I thought one very strong point Amit Shah made yesterday. All very well to hold press conference. If you feel so strongly, have you gone in the last 10 years even once to the election commission or to the courts on specifically on
objected.
electoral reforms? Now, I think that's why I said the real battle to be fought is at the election commission. I do have a problem with the opacity and the lack of transparency of this election commission, of its failure to take all stakeholders into account before you conduct a major exercise like SIR. That aside, I think when you are going, if there was a clear plan that these are the 10 things I want as electoral reforms. Rahul Gandhi cited 2 or 3. CCTV, the immunity that's been granted to election commissioners, the way in which election commissioners are chosen, all of which the government can easily turn back on you, because it's not as if
No,
when
Amit responded to those.
you see,
also.
because
He did.
very
He
simple.
did. He did.
To each of those.
Today you are telling me that a 3-member commission is heavily weighted in favor of the government when it comes to choosing election commissioners. What was it when you were in power? You see, immediately whataboutery comes in. So the Congress has to deal with those questions, and I don't think they were prepared, or in a way they gave the government an opportunity to say, you are no one to tell us of how the election commissioners should be appointed. We can turn it back on you. Just like on
people of
Vande
this
Matram,
country have
every time
voted.
Vande Matram was said, the opposition had an opportunity. You please don't tell us about Vande Matram. Where were you during the 1930s?
very interestingly-
That's how it
very
happened.
interestingly-
So I think a serious debate on electoral reforms is needed in this country.
It sounded-
but a serious, focused debate outside of this bipartisan politics of this
This
country.
outside
umbrella
parliament?
discussion on vote chori, this constant use of vote chori targeting the government, it should have been more
Focused.
pointed, more focused.
Focused.
On what are the
Vote chori is
redressal
a
measures, for
inference.
example,
I don't think that
for
they came up with
genuine
any-
voters
You guys-
who are aggrieved.
You should
know?
be. You should.
and-
What is the
and-
difference?
and
You
why
should be
would I-
advisors.
and I don't even,
If I may-
and for once
if
I
I-
agree, I don't even like this word vote chori at times, because if I'm a genuine voter who's standing in a line from 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. waiting to vote in some part of the country,
You're
then you
mocking
come
them.
and say vote chori. अरे यार मैं तो वोट कर रहा हूँ.
No, but
So I think the opposition needed to frame
What-
the debate
Yes.
better.
No,
I-
There
I-
are
no,
great
one minute.
advisors
Just-
here
just
for
to-
the opposition and
just
their
to-
strategy.
No, I'm advisors for the government also. I'm saying
No, you didn't advise the government, Rajdeep.
No,
You
I said the
you
government.
rated them, yes,
I
but
said
you
the
were
government
advising the
should-
opposition.
I said the government should have also stayed away from Vande Matram and done what was just suggested.
but I think
focused-
government- I think government
was
was absolutely
Can I
right.
say two lines? Can I say
Yeah.
two lines?
Yes,
Can I
please.
say two lines?
Yes, please.
I think the whole debate was planned because the leadership of all the opposition parties could tell their workers that why we are losing. You know, they wanted to put blame
Mainly
on
the
something.
Congress. This was mainly the
Congress.
Congress. Mainly the
Because
Congress.
because there is a lot of ask from the workers of the party that why are we losing? You know, where it is everything going
The
wrong.
Home Minister also listed why they were losing.
But
He gave
no, no,
That's a
specific
different debate.
instances.
That's a different debate. But they couldn't prove that they are losing only and only because of this. You know, the vote chori is an inference from there are mistakes in the voters list. India has 90 crore voters. You know, that list cannot be perfect. That's very clear. And it's a responsibility of the election commission to have a correct voter list. That is also very clear.
It's a
But at the same time, that is
participatory
not the
practice.
reason why they are losing. That is the point.
If
And
I
that
may,
the government couldn't
Rahul
convey.
Gandhi had this huge, yatra in Bihar. Even
Voter Adhikar
RJD, RJD walked away from it. It wasn't an RJD issue
Okay.
at all. Point 1, point 2. In all of this, you know who won both rounds? India as a democracy. Free, fair for the whole world to see.
Gaurav Sawant,
Everyone loved
don't
it.
make it philosophical.
It's everyone
No,
saw
no.
it.
Last
all
1 minute.
These VDem chaps who say India is like a elected autocracy, it's a slap on their face.
Rajdeep, last 1 minute. So go ahead. I'm going to get ratings from everyone on what they thought of the whole debate on both.
Look, I am a great believer in India's parliamentary democracy, and I always appreciate any kind of debate that takes place on the floor of the House. But let's not run ahead of ourselves and suggest that just because these two debates were held, that means parliamentary democracy is back to being its robust self. I think the
never
glass is
went
half.
anywhere.
I think the glass is half full and the glass is half empty. As is often the case with much in India, we need to strengthen our institutions in democracy. I don't see enough call attention motions. For example, when I used to cover parliament, regularly call attention motions on serious immediate issues of concern like air
for
pollution
example,
would take
pollution.
place.
Okay.
Now those issues don't take place. So let's not suddenly give Parliament 10 out of 10 because two debates, one which I thought was completely irrelevant and the other because the opposition got its framing of the debate wrong.
I'm wrapping this up, yeah.
Is because Parliament is now, Gaurav likes to say this, that, Parliament is...
I didn't say parliament, I said the country, democracy,
Okay,
Indian
all
democracy.
right, I'm wrapping this
our
up.
Media is strong, our judiciary is strong, our institutions are
Okay,
very
I will
strong.
wrap this up. Okay, I'm wrapping
We are
this up.
also
As you can
strong.
see, my job is tougher than that of Om Birla. But thank you all very much for joining us.
Do
another
an
edition.
Om Birla impersonation.
No, my
for us.
Hindi is too bad. I will get into serious trouble, Rajdeep. No.
देखिए
माननीय सदस्य
बैठिए माननीय सदस्य बैठिए
ऐसे तरीका नहीं चलेगा.
No, not to do and only looking
Are
at
you
the opposition.
are you asking for a privilege?
No, I'm actually
Are you asking for
I'm
a
wrapping
privilege
this up.
motion?
Wrapping this up. This is getting too controversial.
I was not in
This is getting too controversial. But thank you very much for joining us in this edition of Democratic Newsroom. Thank you.